in order to address the problem of mass data fragmentation. Cohesity has built a web-scale platform that consolidates multiple data management capabilities. First, the platform is great at enterprise-class backup and recovery, but it does so much more. For example, file and object services, test data management, and data analytics. To explain how we achieve this video introduces the architecture and key concepts of the Cohesity data management solution. At a high level, it is made up of 3 layers. One distributed platform to support multiple workloads, one UI to easily manage the global environment, and the ability to run applications atop data under management. Together, they address today's modern data management challenges. Let's start by looking at the top layer, applications. The first application we introduced on the platform is Cohesity Data Protect for backup and recovery on-premises or in the cloud. Other applications, including popular third-party ones for cybersecurity, analytics, and more, are available to download and run on the platform from the Cohesity marketplace. For example, cyber exposure scanning powered by Tenable.io can be run on Cohesity to provide in-place vulnerability assessments in order to proactively prevent ransomware attacks. You can find many other applications in the Cohesity marketplace and easily install them through a single SaaS-based management UI. Let's take a deeper look at Helios, the second layer of the stack. Helios is designed to support simple scale-out operations across all the sites that make up your global Cohesity estate, which can run on everything from physical to virtual servers, from on-premises data center and edge locations to a range of public clouds. Helios provides a simple way for you to actively manage backups, file shares, and object stores, and data for dev test and analytics across your global environment. Helios takes advantage of global indexing capabilities to offer search across instances of the platform, helping you quickly find what you need no matter where it resides. It also performs real-time monitoring and reporting, and utilizes cutting-edge machine learning algorithms to proactively assess IT needs. When Helios manages any given cluster, this is what happens under the covers on the first layer of the architecture, the Cohesity data platform. Helios performs its operations through a series of RESTful APIs that sit atop underlying data management platform services to perform specific operations on data, such as replication, archiving, encryption, cloning, transformation, tiering, and more. To ensure data under management is accessible by a wide range of existing applications, the Cohesity data platform is multi-protocol ready, exposing industry-standard NFS, SMB, and S3 interfaces that interoperate. This means that, for example, you can write data to Cohesity using SMB and read it via NFS, or write it via NFS and read via S3. Each instance of the Cohesity platform is a logical cluster made up of 3 or more nodes. Cohesity nodes can run within virtual machines or on your choice of any x86 qualified hardware platform, including those from Cisco, HPE, and Dell, as well as white box hardware. The data platform scales linearly and distributes data across the cluster at ingest. It dynamically rebalances data chunks as nodes are added or unavailable as a result of failure. Unlike other solutions, this means Cohesity provides always-on availability, non-disruptive upgrades, and a pay-as-you-grow model for scale-out storage. At the heart of the Cohesity data platform is the distributed shared nothing file system we call SpanFS. It performs global data deduplication, which results in significant savings across the entire storage footprint. This works as well within the cloud. SpanFS also allows for unlimited data snapshots and clones through Snaptree technology. In a unique industry first, each clone is fully hydrated. In a data protection context, this approach enables the instant mass restore of an unlimited number of objects, so that businesses can achieve near-continuous RPO and fast RTO objectives. Unlike legacy architecture, Cohesity has been designed from the ground up to span from data center to edge to cloud. It consolidates infrastructure silos and fragmented data in one web-scale platform. With one platform, one UI, and the ability to run apps, Cohesity is redefining data management.
Hello everybody, and thanks for tuning in on Cohesity, where we are redefining data management. My name is Vleminckx, and I'm the sales manager for Cohesity for Belgium and Luxembourg. And I'm here to talk a bit about Cohesity. As you saw in the introduction video, the technology that Cohesity brings to the market is called the Cohesity Data Platform, which is a scale-out, software-defined data management and storage platform developed and engineered by our founder, Mohit Aron, who also happens to be the co-founder of Nutanix back in 2009, and who was also the lead developer of the Google file system. Mohit actually was one of the first employees when Google started up in '98, and he actually developed the Google file system, which enabled Google to build a web-scale storage platform onto which they would consolidate, store, and manage the world's data, and actually make that data available again to the end users to make it searchable by their well-known web-based search engine. Like the Google file system that was developed by Mohit Aron developed a similar data platform, not for end users, but for businesses, for enterprises, which is called the Cohesity Data Platform. Our data platform is a software-defined data platform, which means that it can either run as a virtual machine in your data center. It can actually run or be installed, as you see at the bottom of these slides, on physical nodes, servers, Intel-based servers with dedicated storage, or it can run completely, entirely into the cloud. As you can see on the slide, the core of our data platform is our spent file system. It's like Google, a scale-out, distributed, clustered file system. And by installing our data platform software and our file system on each of the nodes, the servers, as you see here on the slide, our spent file system actually clusters all of these servers, compute storage nodes together, and presents them as one logical, big storage and compute platform. This platform, this storage and data management platform, can run multiple loads. And as you see on top of the slide, one of the big workloads that we support on our Cohesity data platform is data protection, so actually backup and restore, as well as disaster recovery. Another workload that we run of our storage platform is actually file services. So our platform can be considered as a scale-out NAS, where through NFS and SMB, we will consolidate all your file shares, and we even support the S3 protocol for object-oriented storage. The third workload that we run of our platform is for test and dev, and another one is analytics. And then the last one, as you can see, and which I already mentioned, our platform can integrate with any cloud, big cloud player today, whether it's AWS, whether it's Google, whether it's Microsoft Azure. We seamlessly integrate with the cloud, and we can even run our platform into the cloud. So let's go back to all of these workloads. What is the value proposition of the Cohesity data platform? Why do so many companies actually move to Cohesity? And when I talk about our customers, it's about 4 years that we do product shipment into the market. We were founded in 2013 by Mohit Aron, and like developing the Google file system, it took it some time, actually 3 years, to develop the Cohesity data platform. So actually we started shipping our first products in 2016, and in those 4 years' time, we have acquired more than 3,000 customers. And the bulk of these 3,000 customers, and I believe almost all actually, what they did is to replace their current backup infrastructure, their legacy backup infrastructure, which either run on Veritas or Legato or Veeam or Commvault, and in the backend we're using data domain as a storage target for hosting the backups. Those companies that I just mentioned actually replace their entire environment, backup environment, by one software layer called Cohesity Data Platform to provide backup and restore capabilities to those companies. 70% of those 3,000 companies are real enterprise companies, so really, really big enterprise, by which I'm not saying that we don't run our data platform in smaller organizations. We have some lawyer companies here in Belgium that have installed the Cohesity Data Platform. But when we look at our customers who have replaced their legacy backup infrastructure by Cohesity, 7 of the 10 biggest banks in the world have moved to Cohesity. Big banks in America, also in Canada, also in Europe. In Belgium, we have customers like KBC Bank, BNP Paribas, we have Informatica van Breda, who actually are relying on the Cohesity Data Platform for their backup operations. And what makes us so special is the following. When they do backup, or when we replace their backup environment by Cohesity, we provide them with a scalable backup platform by using the Cohesity Data Platform software. As I mentioned, we have a scale-out architecture, so by placing our software and our file system on those storage nodes, we can actually build a scalable backup platform that we can actually scale infinitively. Because we can add an additional server with compute and storage, and we are actually enlarging the storage platform onto which the backups can happen. So each node that we're adding to the cluster, we're expanding the cluster, the capacity, the compute with that node eventually. So what we are doing is, when we are doing the backup onto our platform, we are making use of all the compute and storage nodes to stream the backups in parallel over all those servers. So we provide those customers with a really performant platform for doing their backups. When we do the backup of their data, we of course dedupe, we compress that data, and we achieve a storage efficiency which is even higher with well-known companies, technologies like data domain. And in some cases, we have a customer here where we achieve like a storage efficiency of 160 to 1. So actually backing up 3 petabytes of logical data and putting it back into a backup of about 25 terabytes. While we are streaming, backing up that data in parallel to all of the servers and deduping and compressing that data, we're also equally indexing that data so that we make that data really searchable. So in order to facilitate real fast restores of single files, or actually do restores of entire virtual machines. And we are using our technology of mounting points with which we do backups, and we're using the same mounting points to do very fast restores. So the way our spanned file system actually stores backup data onto our platform with mounting points enables us to do very, very fast restores, and even very fast restores, like I said, of virtual machines. So actually what we do is, when we need to restore a virtual machine from 3 years ago, what we do is we take the mounting point of the original backup, which by definition is a full backup. We put that mounting point into our memory, which is based on NVMe, and we take the mounting point of the incremental backup of that VM machine of 3 years ago, we put it in NVMe, and we start up the entire virtual machine, the storage from the virtual, our NVMe. And you can really count from each physical node, from each server, that we can actually bring 30 virtual machines live in just a couple of minutes. So our backup solution at the same time is a solution for doing disaster recovery, which is being done by our customers. Like I said, our platform can also be used as a scale-out target for file-based data. We are supporting SMB, NFS, and S3 simultaneously, so you can actually consolidate your entire file server farm onto our platform and benefit from the same data management functionalities as I just explained for your backup data. So all your file consolidation, file-based NAS data that you will store on the Cohesity platform will benefit from the same performance at which you are writing data onto our platform. So it will distribute your file data over the available compute and storage nodes into the cluster. It will benefit from the same resiliency that we have built into our data platform, because every data, even backup data that we are writing to our platform, we are also writing or generating redundancy data, which we call erasure coding, which we are equally distributing over the different servers in the cluster. All of these servers, by the definition, are master servers. So there's no master-slave principle. So your file share environment will benefit from the same performance, from the same deduplication and compression efficiency that we have on our backup data. And all that data is indexed as well. So like Google, you can look for information into the data that you're storing on the Cohesity data platform. Yeah? For your virtual machines, we are also supporting what we call continuous data protection. So taking advantage of the VIA protocol of VMware, what we are actually doing is that every write that a virtual machine is doing to your primary storage, we are equally generating a secondary write to our Cohesity backup platform, by which we are continuously taking snapshots, backups of your virtual machines. Of course, you want to do this for your most critical virtual machines. Those machines that, in case of a disaster, you want to have up and running again. Because by replicating that backup data from one Cohesity cluster to a secondary data center or in the cloud, where another Cohesity data platform cluster is running, you are replicating that backup data to the secondary center, from which you actually can start up the virtual machines with the performance that I just explained. And if you're mirroring the data over from virtual machines of which backups are continuously taken with continuous data protection, you're able to do a disaster recovery instantaneously in a couple of minutes, and your recovery point objective will be just a couple of seconds. So that's actually a solution that we are providing to our customers that a lot of banks have adopted, and which we have now completely automated. And I will come back to that. As you can see also on the slide to the right, we are supporting infinitive clones on our platform, which can be used for test and dev. So we easily, and I talk about a couple of seconds, take 100 clones of a 1 terabyte Oracle or SQL database, which is not consuming any storage on our platform, and which is instantaneously usable, so readable and writable for developers. And on top of that, we're doing a lot of analytics on our platform. Before I move on to our cloud integration, there's one more data management functionality that I want to explain, which is our built-in cybersecurity, which is mentioned on the far right end of the slide that you're seeing. With cybersecurity built in, we actually give you a solution that really is able to, in case a ransomware hits your infrastructure, that you can always recover the data from your backups. Because the file system that we have created, our spent file system, is a immutable file system. That means that your backups can never be encrypted. So in case encryption creeps in, you can actually revert back to a snapshot, a backup, in which your encryption has not taken place of your production data, and you can always look inside of the backups before you do a restore, just to make sure that you're restoring from a backup where the data has not been encrypted yet. This is what is mentioned in the middle on the right side of the slide that you see right here. On top of that, in our data platform, we have built-in ransomware detection. So we are using artificial intelligence, we are using machine learning in order to detect anomalies in the backup. So when we see that, for example, an incremental backup of a SQL database, which usually takes about 2 gigabytes, and all of a sudden it's 2 terabytes, we can look into that backup, and when we see indeed that it's due to a cryptolocker, a ransomware, we will open a P1, we will contact you, the customer, and we will tell you you have been hit by ransomware. We will stay online because together with the customer, we will help you further and see from which backup, from which snapshot you are able to put the data back online. And as I said already, recovering data, single files or even entire virtual machines is just a matter of minutes. Our data platform, as I mentioned in the beginning, can run physically on-prem on physical servers, and those servers are Intel servers with dedicated storage. They can be of any brand because our data platform runs on the CentOS, so we are independent from the hardware layer. So those Intel servers, they can come from Cisco, they come from HP, from Fujitsu, from Dell, and we even with Cohesity have our own appliance, what I call white-labeled servers, onto which you can run the data platform. Yeah? But also, you can run the data platform natively in the cloud, and you can do backup completely in the cloud, even without installing anything, a cluster on-prem. But by running our data platform into the cloud, either Azure, Amazon, or Google, this can become your disaster recovery solution. So you would take your backups on-prem of your entire environment, and you would replicate the data, the backup data, into the cloud. So part of our data platform is replication. When we replicate data, the data is always encrypted, and we only send over the unique data after we first compress this and encrypt this. Yeah? And so you can use the cloud really as your disaster recovery solution, but you can also use the cloud for doing long-term archiving into the cloud. The archiving capabilities are built in our backup utility when you schedule a backup job. So as a customer, you can deploy multiple clusters as a VM, physically on-prem or in the cloud. In order to orchestrate and to manage this, we have created Helios. And Helios is actually a portal, a SaaS application that we created, which provides you with one user interface to globally manage all these clusters worldwide and the services that run on top of it, all from one single pane. And you can even run Helios off your smartphone. This to enable our customer, wherever your cluster runs in the cloud, as you can see here to the far right, or on-prem, it can be managed from one orchestration tool, from one portal. Through Helios, we are also providing what we call data management as a service. As I said, our data platform has been engineered developed with cloud in the back of the mind. So we have done engineering with AWS and joint development to allow our customer to actually have all the backup services that I just discussed as a service. So for you as a customer, all it takes is actually to go to the AWS portal to sign up, connect, and protect. So really, as a customer, you don't need to install everything. You don't need to know anything about a backup, etc. All this is being taken care by Cohesity through AWS. And as you see on the slide, the first environments that we protect, that we offer are for VMware, for file services NAS, for Office 365, and for SQL. And we'll be expanding this throughout the next months to come. Through Helios, our single user interface for managing your entire data platform, you have also access to the App Store of Cohesity, and we call this the Cohesity Marketplace. And here, like you would go to Google or Apple, you see a lot of applications that Cohesity has developed or that other companies have developed but made available in our App Store to be run on our data platform. So these are applications in categories of antivirus, of auditing, automating disaster recovery, and the ones that you see on the screen that says Cohesity, they are available for free. And you can actually download these applications and install them on each of the nodes of in your Cohesity cluster on your data platform. So even analytics tools like Splunk, you can download and in a containerized version install on our data platform. And actually Splunk will use the backup data to run their Splunk services. So there is no need anymore to make a copy of your production data, to move that into a separate environment, to run Splunk on it, to have those services. So what we do is we bring the application to the data. We already have a copy of your production data in the form of a backup, and that's where we run the applications on. So the same for antivirus. You have ClamAV, you have Sentinel-1. You can download it, and it will install on each one of the master servers on which you are storing the data, your file-based data. And every server in parallel will do the antivirus scanning of your data. And one interesting application I want to conclude with, which is our runbook application, which is developed by Cohesity, which is actually automating our entire disaster recovery solution that I described. So by using our fast instant mass restore capability and our continuous data protection, and actually bringing this into a runbook application where you can actually do the layout of, in case of a disaster, which servers you want to have up and running, etc. That's the functionality, that's the application, the automation that we provide to our customers, which we have rebranded in what we call site continuity. And with a lot of our customers today, we are discussing, they are coming to Cohesity to ask us to guide us and to build a disaster recovery plan together with that. So the video that we're gonna show you now will be the end of my presentation. I will already like to thank you for tuning in on Cohesity, for spending these 30 minutes with us, and I hope to see you very soon again. Thank you.